Welcome to another episode of the Get Out Swim podcast. I'm your host, Seamus T. Quinn, and this is my co-host, Swim Coach João Mescolote, back for another episode. And today our guest is Iago Moussalem. He is the swimming training coordinator at Georgia Tech. Iago, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for joining us.
You guys, thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys and share a little bit more about my story in Georgia Tech.
Definitely. So I'm excited for this. Zhao and I have been talking back and forth, and he said we got to get Iago on. Zhao just spent time at Georgia Tech, kind of doing a vlog while he was there for a clinic. And if you guys haven't checked that out, go check it out. Zhao's been doing these vlogs. It's really cool insight into swim programs. And just kind of what goes on behind the scenes, what goes on at practices. He interviews coaches like Iago. So go check out that Georgia Tech vlog. It's again really quality stuff. So Iago, I want to know about kind of what your primary roles are at Georgia Tech and kind of how it's evolved since when you got there. Like what are you doing on the day to day, and what do you enjoy most about your position?
Okay, good question. So, kind of funny because I was just with Juan and we're friends. We've been to like a lot of the same struggles together, and that's how we got closer. So, uh, I'm biased if I'm talking about him, but about Georgia Tech and my role now. So last year I took the job as just an assistant coach, and 2 weeks after I found out that our head coach at the time was leaving, and then John took the position as an interim head coach. And then based on that, I was gonna have my own group because Ari, which now is in Auburn, divided the team into 4 groups, and each coach at the time had their own group pretty much, and people would like rotate now and then. So first year coaching college, had my group, was like 4 IMers, 200 strokes. That was a lot of fun. And now, after a year, I'm like more in charge of the swimming program at Georgia Tech. Of course, with John's help on the admin side of things, and Miles' help on the swimming side. So oversee the whole swimming program, like where athletes are training, what's our plan for the season, when are we gonna rest, that type of thing. What are we gonna do a training trip, stuff like that. I also do a lot of like the pool management here at Georgia Tech, like when are we going to be able to like swim. It's because it's such a big facility, there's a lot of like parts moving, so I'm in charge of that, the pool schedule for us. I do a lot of recruiting too, so um, calls every day, every week, uh,
How
international. Yeah.
how beautiful is it to be coaching on that pool deck every day? Because I've never been there, but I just see the images and it's like that place is gorgeous.
Yes, man. Well, you never been to Georgia Tech pool?
Never been to Georgia Tech pool.
Wow.
I got
Well,
I
are
I
you
got to get there at some point.
NCAA is here this year, man. You
Oh
gotta
man,
be here. Gotta
that
be
would be
here.
incredible.
Yeah. Well,
If I can get there, I will. That would be incredible.
it's easy to fly. The airport is only what, John, 20 minutes away, not even.
Yeah, 20 minutes about.
And man, that's something that I don't let myself get used to is like this is not normal. Like all I have to like behind me, I'm at the pool right now. Like it's not normal.
Mm,
I grew up in Brazil with Gus Borges being like the Michael Phelps of Brazil. And in 1996, that's when like he got like 2 medals. It was here at this pool. So like I
right.
became really close friends with Hen and his family. So it's kind of like a full circle for me to work here where like one of the idols of my country like got Olympic medals. So it's fun.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit of that growing up in Brazil and then transitioning through your college journey here in the US and then until you got to Georgia Tech. You said you've been there for 4 years, but you've only been coaching for 2 years. Tell us how the journey went from, leaving kind of like the countryside of Brazil, going to the big city, and then getting to where you're at now.
For sure. So it was a long journey. So like a lot of people say like, oh, you only there for like 2 years. You only like the journey started like a long time ago with trying to get out of my hometown because of swimming and all that. So that was in 2012 when I call it like the Midwest of Brazil. So I moved from there to this is our head coach John right here, by the way. So I moved from my hometown because of swimming when I was like 13, 14, and started swimming on the big clubs. Like in Brazil, we have a lot of like soccer clubs that have swim teams. So stayed there for like 5 years and then got a scholarship to swim in Miami, Ohio. Then went from the Midwest of Brazil to the Midwest of the US. So I was in Ohio for a little bit and then transferred to Indiana. That's when I got the opportunity to swim with like all the American superstars, train with Coach Ray, learned a lot from there. And then I was really tired of being cold. So I was like, no more Midwest for me. I want to go south. And then that's when I talked with Chico at the time. He was coaching here at Georgia Tech. And Chico connected me with Mike Norman, which is like dad figure to me right now, like guy that I call all the time. I was just talking to him before the podcast too. And I started training with Mike at Tech. And Mike had a club team at the time, which is MAC, Metro Atlanta. And I started coaching for Mike. And it was just a snowball, man. And when I realized I was coaching Tech.
Wow. Amazing.
How was that transition? So, and I know a little bit of the backstory, but it would be cool if you shared that. The transition from competing at the highest level in swimming, we know you went to Pen Packs, represented Brazil and all of that. And I know that the ultimate goal was to try to make that Olympic team in 2024, and kind of like realizing that, okay, maybe I'm going to start focusing a little more on the coaching side of things. Was that an easy transition? Was that tough? How did that come about?
Man, it was a hard transition because we all know like you don't make money swimming. Like that was the real reason. Like I was putting so much effort to come to every practice I could, like 9 swimming, 3 gym sections, like every week, and I was making no money. So I was like, if I do anything else in my life with the same effort, I'm gonna make a lot more money. So I was like, that was the reason the transition happened. Coaching, it was funny because I was coaching club and I went to a pro series as a coach, and I felt like I still have some, and like I think I can do better, like swimming wise. So I got back swimming. That was like the best year, like 2023, when we were training. Like it was Nick Fink, Chris Thames, myself, and Mike. We had like a little pro group at Tech, and it was the most fun I ever had swimming.
Why? Wait, why was it the most fun? I want to know that.
Man, because we had Mike. Mike is like, so we had Nick, which is like the engineer, the nerd that's at his best phase of his life. We have Chris that's coming back after a year of retirement, and it's going 157 two back. And myself, like this guy that's been working his whole life to be good, trying to make the national team. And Mike is just like having fun with us, just like whatever he wrote on the paper, we're like, all right, let's do it. So that was really, really good. Like we really enjoyed. I was at the best like shape of my life there, like physique wise, mentally wise. And we're like about to go to Brazilian nationals, and Mike come to us and like, hey, I'm gonna go to UGA, took the job there. And we're like, wow. But that's how the coaching life is, and we're all really, really happy for him because of that. But the main reason why it was fun is because we had a guy that really believed in what we were doing, and he was just trying things with us and things that made sense to us, and we're just racing. Like practice was about racing and technique, and I love that.
Mm. Yeah. And you still have a close relationship with him, right? You mentioned he's like
Oh
a
yeah.
father figure. Yeah.
Yes, like a lot of conversations. He'll call me to just say things that he just needs to get off his chest. I'll call him for help, like, hey, what do you think
Mm.
about this? It's actually funny because this year was the first time like he mentioned like a study that he read, and I was like, hey, I read that too, man. Like, I know what you're talking about for the first time. Let's go. So it's actually really nice.
Nice. What did you, or I have a question about that kind of presence of someone who believes in you and is just trying things. Like, what is it about Mike that makes him a special coach to you? Like, what are things that you look up to from him?
Man, it's just like my favorite moment memory is like me getting out of two fly that was terrible. Like I didn't do well
Mm.
and my body was just hurting, and getting out of that and just like getting a hug is like, hey, that was okay, man. It's fine. So that figure that he cares about the person more
Mhm.
than the result.
Yeah.
And the result just gonna come like as a result of the daily work. There's one thing that he used to tell like the Mac coaching staff when he was like around. It was like, hey, make sure when the kid walks in on deck and they weren't at practice the day before, you don't ask like, wait, where were you yesterday? It's like, hey, I missed you yesterday. How you doing? There's a different way.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's why he was so good. He is so good.
Amazing.
I want to draw a parallel here. Just that same mentorship that Mike was giving to you guys, knowing that you guys are adults, you need to find a way to make money. And even though you were pro athletes, I know that Nick is notoriously known for like having a full-time job and still, making time to go to the Olympics. And I know that you were traveling a lot to do clinics and coaching club and all of that. I I personally know a fun story, and I would like for you to share with us about our friend Kayo.
Mm.
This past year in 2024, Kayo went to the short course world championships, and has been working a full-time job and kind of like training on his own, obviously with the help of an assistant, but all the way in Brazil while you were over here sending him the workouts and coaching him.
Mhm.
And how did that kind of like translate, right? Like, so you had
Yeah.
that same experience with Mike, and then you kind of passed
Yes.
it on to Kayo, and which ended up making worlds and getting a medal and all of that.
Getting a medal, yeah, man. I think that story is just like I just helped my friend be at the place that he should have been a long time ago. That's the conclusion of that story.
Mm.
But going back is Kyle was a guy that were he was his fifth year at Georgia Tech, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, just come here," because I didn't have money to pay rent. I was in the process of my green card, and I had a little bed next to his bed, so he had a bedroom that was so big, and we put like a twin mattress on the floor, and that's where I was like sleeping. And that guy was training, and I was training too. And then he graduated, went back home. I started the club coaching thing, and he got a shoulder injury surgery, and he had to like be out for like 4 months, I think, and then came back. Wasn't happy on how he was training. He needed more attention and stuff like that. So he texted me like, "Hey, can you write my workouts?" I was like, "Dude, like, what are you talking about? Like, no." And he was like, "No, I'm being serious. Like, can you like help me out? Because I got a full-time job." He's like a wealth management, and he needed someone to like write workouts for him at a different time than the club team he was at in Brazil. And I was like, all right, let's try. And we just started like for fun. I'll be honest with you. Like we had no expectations. And then that's like January 2024. And then the first like big meet was Olympic trials. And he almost made the Olympics for Brazil, long course. And we're like, wait a second, like what's happening here? We're training once a day. He's lifting like on his own. Like he's a big like gym guy, so he likes to do like 3 sets of 12. He's a big fan of like C-bomb, so like he's trying to lift to look good, not to swim fast. And he's lifting at like 9 p.m. on like a normal gym, and swimming at like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. before his job. And we're almost made the, like he won Brazilian nationals on the 100 breast and almost made the Olympic team. And we're like, okay, let's plan this a little better. Let's see what we can do. So I brought our weight training guy from Portugal. It's like, hey, can you help us out here? We need someone in the gym running the workouts. And I was like, Kyle, here's our plan for Brazilian short course nationals. And that was the transition when I got the tech job. So I couldn't write like the workouts as detailed as I wanted to be. That was like a lot of moving parts. And he made the words team. So he was on the team to go to short course world champs while the workout weren't that good. I was like, okay, come to the US, train with tech for 2 months, and then you go to world champs. Let's see what we can do. So his job was remote. He came to the US. He was working like college practice. We go 6 to 8 and then 2 to 4. So he wouldn't come in the afternoon. Only on Wednesday afternoon he would come. And he would like work during the day, all that, while he was here in the US in Atlanta. And he kept getting better. And the whole team at Tech like kept getting better too because they're racing him. And then I text Juan this like, hey, we're going to our champs. Like I'm gonna go there, and I don't think we're just going to like go for a world champ, like just to get a swim. I think we're going to do something good. I text Juan that, and Juan's like, really? And we're at world champs. That's like the one that everybody's like breaking world records left and right. Like how many? 30 world records, like something like crazy like that. And he comes to me on first day. He doesn't swim the first day, and he comes to me like, hey, what should I do this afternoon? And I looked at him. I was like, I don't know, man. I never got to this phase here. And we're just like start dying laughing, like, well, we're world champs. Let's just have fun. And he went to the 100 breaths and didn't make semis. And we're like, wait, what happened? We're like, yeah, we thought would be like easier to make it back, and we didn't have the right approach. So we're like, okay, on day 3, let's go for it on the morning for the 100 IM. So he went for it, best time. I think he was like top 8 already. And then we're like, oh, let's the biomechanics from Brazil, like, hey, this was bad, this was good, let's adjust here. So we looked at that, adjust, and Kai was like a machine. And we adjust that, boom, final. I think he was laying like 2. I don't remember, man. 7. And at finals, I was like, dude, here's the adjustments, like very similar to what we did the day before. Just race, like, and he's really good at that. And then he raced. He was really close to Michael Andrew. Michael Andrew was right next to him. I was like, please. And he touched, and the light of the block, when you go like 1, 2, 3, the block turns red. That thing just turns red, and I was like, I cannot believe we did this. Wow. Yeah, just having fun. That's what swimming's about.
While having a full-time job as well.
Yes. And wealth management, which you guys know, like it's not easy.
Amazing.
I can talk too much.
What was the takeaway from that experience, for you? I mean, you just said like it's about having fun, and really going for something. But yeah, what was like, expand on that? What was a takeaway for you from that experience with Kyle?
That unfortunately, or sport, even though you're professional, it's just a hobby. Like we're not at that level yet. That people are that good. You have like 1, 2, 3 that are really talented and can do everything. My takeaway was you got to do it as a hobby. Like you can be really good. You can take the pressure away. The expectation is different, and just race. Like what makes people better is racing. That's why college in the US is so good, because you have people coming to the team and they just want to race each other. They race every other weekend. So those are my takeaways. Like swimming is still a hobby for a lot of people. People are just really good at their hobbies. We're not professional. We're not even close to be a professional sport. You gotta have fun with it, and yeah, racing is the key.
Yeah.
Throughout your experience, obviously swimming at the highest level gives you a great background and insight of what needs to be done and how to do things. But and as well having Mike on your corner and then having Ari, which if people don't know Ari, I know he's new to the college system, but he is the guy. A lot of what I do comes from Ari's kind of like school of thought as well. But having Mike and having Ari, you're still a young guy, right? Like when you started training Kayo, like you're still in your first year coaching, and then all of a sudden the all of the coaches at Georgia Tech like kind of like dissipate, and then all of a sudden you're what 25, 26-year-old guy in charge of making big decisions, not only administratively but like thinking more of like the actual like physiology, like the swimming part. How do you make those decisions? How do you translate? How do you like where are you learning from? Who are you texting? Like how much pressure are you actually putting on that, or not really, or you're still taking that approach of just kind of like figuring things out and having fun?
Great question. First, I didn't mention Ari on the story for Kyle, but I asked Ari for a dinner, and he wrote on a napkin everything like, hey, this is how you're gonna do that, and that's how I built the first season for Kyle. So Ari is the guy. John, you know this. More people got to know that. And
wait, really quick,
man, I
because
cannot.
I was gonna say just on Ari, can you guys give a little bit of your perspective on Ari as as someone that you guys both admire and respect? Like, what is it about him?
Ari is a very intelligent, upbeat, fun guy to be around, but just extremely intelligent, especially on the sprint side. I mean, he's Brazilian. He's at Auburn now, and he's had many of the greatest sprinters in the world, like being kind of like mentored by him. I think first was mostly like Felipe França breaking the world record in '09 in a 50 breast. Then I think he coached Bruno into a couple of Bruno's first 21s. Just to mention a couple of sprints.
I didn't know this, and I learned with Ari. Like Bruno's best time is with Ari.
Right. Yeah. So, and then who else? He had Andriy Govorov for a while, like during the when Andriy broke the world record.
50 fly world
50
record.
fly. Yeah. So I think Ari's just missing the 50 back now. Is that it?
Probably.
But yeah, actually, I think he mentors Caesar as well for a couple of years for the 50 free. So he's touched some of the some of the fastest swims in the world.
Has his mind and fingers behind it.
Yeah,
for sure.
And he's awesome to be around. Not just intelligent, like anyone that knows him, like if you go out for dinner or a beer with him, it's guaranteed good time. So
intensity, man, and that's the other thing. Like he always talk about like whatever happens at the meet, it's happening at practice. So where were you when that was happening at practice? So that relates to intensity. That's what Ari is. He's very intense because he's there, he's present when it's happening. So that's something that I try to be like. When practice is happening, I'm not talking to whoever, I'm not on the phone with admin, compliant. Like, I'm at practice, man. Like, I put my phone away, I'm trying to see, because whatever happens at the meet, it had happened before at practice. And Ari always said that to me, and that's one big takeaway that I do. But João, going back to your question, man, the physiology, the decisions, and all that. I think the main thing, especially being so young, is knowing that I'm gonna make mistakes. Like, it's gonna happen. I just gotta be aware when I make one and try to fix as soon as possible. So that's the number one thing. Always trying to listen to podcasts, read books. You gave me a book. I showed you the one that I found too, and like reading. I think it helps my English too. Not my first language, so like I'm always reading, trying to improve my English. Reading so I can have a better understanding. Like Ari itself had a book. Like he has a book. I think it's coming in English. I don't know if I could tell, but it's out there now. I think it's gonna be an English version soon. And going to like dual meets, I remember going to FSU. I had his book. He's right next to me, and I'm like, "Hey, what do you mean by this?" I'm right next to the author of the book. Like, so learning and being okay with making mistakes, like not being so hard on myself. Okay, made a mistake. Let's adjust. Let's keep going, and having fun with hard workouts, smiling with the kids when it was a hard one. Like, yeah, man, that was tough. I love you. I still love you. I always say that, like, hey, I'm sorry for what's about to happen, but I love you. And a little bit of science, a little bit of craziness, and you keep going.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor, Aquatic Sports Performance. If you're serious about getting stronger, faster, and increasing your mobility, ASP has you covered. They specialize in strength, mobility, and dryland programs built specifically for swimmers and aquatic athletes. Everything is delivered right through the Train Heroic app, so you can follow along easily and track your progress. I've personally been using their online strength and mobility program, and let me tell you, it's made a real difference in how I feel in the gym and how I move in the pool. It's structured, effective, and tailored to what aquatic athletes need most. So if you want to train smarter and build real strength that transfers to your swimming, check out Aquatic Sports Performance and their Train Heroic programs. You'll find links in the show notes. This segment of the podcast is brought to you by SwimSmart. SwimSmart is an incredible company that has a plethora of tools, including designs like the push paddle, the power harness, the squeeze line, and an informative book like The Biology of Swimming. If you're interested in learning how to level up your swimming, go to swimsmarttoday.com to find the best tools for you. Use code GETOUTSWIM for a discount on your purchase. Thanks again, SwimSmart.
That's what. How was it as a young guy? Just to piggyback off that answer. We know that with the NCAA changing and all the rules and roster sizes, you went through a tough time. Like after your first year coaching, a lot of the staff leaving, then all of a sudden you got, thrown to the wolves, like by yourself, had to make some adjustments on the team as a young coach as well. How was that period, and where's Georgia Tech going now? What's kind of like the outcome of that, and how are you guys moving forward from that?
Okay, good. Yeah, it was tough. It was definitely that 2 weeks after NCAA. That was like the hardest week of my coaching career. I can say that for sure. First, I wasn't alone. I think John, our head coach, he was the one that had to like be at the meetings. Like I remember walking to this room that I'm in right now and like giving him a hug that day. It wasn't easy, but it was what the previous administration had asked us to do, and that's what we had to do. We had to bring the numbers down to 15 and 20, which is crazy. But we were able to fight for more and more people as things are going. Like I said, Brian's a really good guy, our new AD, and he's helping us. And that's the good thing about having John as our head coach. Most of swim coaches, we spend so much time coaching or writing workouts and doing it because we have to do doubles. We have other stuff, like sometimes 3 workouts because of makeups. John is coaching diving, so he has more time in the morning, more time at night to do the admin work, and he's fighting for spots. He's part of we had a fundraising for swimming and diving. That was the first club that's called Jackets on Deck. That's our Georgia Tech alumni. It's fundraising, so we're going to training trip because of them. We're able to get some equipment because of them. So that's because of John. That's because he has good relationship with the alumni. That's because he has a good relationship with our AD. Everything's moving on the right direction. I'm just the guy that's helping people to swim fast. That's my job. There's a lot of people behind me that is doing everything else. So I think my job's easy. I think it's just cross the pool back and forth as fast as you can and have fun while you do it and get a Georgia Tech degree. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that are fighting for more spots, more money, and more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Talk about, because Zhao kind of introduced me to it, but talk about how you've been kind of innovative in the dual meet process and have looked at the college landscape and, are just amongst a new crop of coaches that are looking to make some changes as well, or just help out, the college kind of the look of college swimming.
Yeah, man. Like I said, one of my eye openers when you asked me about Kai and being a world champs, it was like, man, we're so far away for being like a professional, like a real league. Like, imagine if you could get those guys. Like in my head, imagine if you could get Nick to only swim with a fun group of people to only focus on swim. Like, how fast could that guy be? Like, how fast could Kyle be if he was just swimming and he had fun with it? No pressure of, if he doesn't swim well next year, he doesn't get a paycheck, or like had a support. So that was the biggest eye opening. I remember texting Ari when I was at World Champs. I was like, dude, like, okay, this is fast, but like, so what? Like, what does this mean? You know what I'm saying? And it's not about just swimming fast. It's about creating an environment that people can watch, people can cheer, people can see an unexpected result. We have that with swimming. You can have a disqualification and a relay and a different team win, and that changed the whole meet. So that was the idea behind the tournament. That fire that I have with me, I'll keep bringing it around whoever like I'm talking to. And I have people that came and was like, hey, Chico and Kali. Chico's at GW, Kali now is at Kentucky, and they're like, let's make this happen, dude. Like, let's try. Georgia Tech's the place. You have a beautiful pool. It's huge. We can make it happen there. So I was like, okay, what do I need to do to make it happen here? And we start planning. So first we got together every kind of like Wednesday night, like late. My fiance at the time would every Wednesday would travel for work. So that's okay. That's the night I can do it. And Chico with his daughter, Kali with his family and stuff like that. So late at night, we would talk about how can we make it work? Like, what's the things that we cannot change? And that's when we came up with the dual meet tournament, like lineup of events and how would it work, how long it would last, stuff like that. And then start to recruit coaches, like teams. Like we are hosting NCAAs at Georgia Tech. People want to swim here. So we use that as a way to like, hey, come swim at Tech. Like we have the pool that you want to test it out before ACC, before NCs. So a lot of people have interest on coming to us, and we brought good teams. And the one thing that was really nice to hear, like I talked to the judge, the referees, like after the meet, before at all their meets, and they're like, you guys have everything very well planned. Like everything ran really smooth. Even though it was the first time, people were happy with how things were, and we got a lot of fast swims. In October, we had a lot of fast swims, and it was a lot of fun, man. I had a kid from Army. I don't know his name. I was just really happy. Like he saw me wearing Georgia Tech. I doubted he knew who I am. Like he just saw me wearing Georgia Tech and was like, "Hey, coach, thank you, man. This was a lot of fun." And I was like, "That's what this is about."
Yeah.
I was talking to the fans. I went up on the. I was at every single meet. I went up on the stands, and it was fun. It was fun to watch. People could talk about it. My fiance and I were like talking about swimming. She was a volleyball player, and she couldn't figure out swimming. She cannot understand the dual meet system. But when we did the dual meet tournament, she was like, "Man, if this was different, if you guys had a better, that would be, you guys could have won." I was like, "Yes, that's what I'm talking about."
That's interesting too, because you're getting the perspective from someone who's outside of swimming but is an athlete, right? So that's actually really good feedback, because like, I mean, volleyball on the other hand, very different sport, honestly very fun to watch live. Like competitive volleyball is a great product as far as, you know, the gameplay and the style of play, whereas swimming, I mean,
College volleyball, man.
Do they
Women's
do
college
tournament like
volleyball.
that?
They just, so Georgia Tech just got picked. We're going to the tournament again. So they have a bracket style. It's right now. They on their way for the tournament. It's always in December. It's a lot of fun, man. If you go north, like Nebraska, like it's crazy about volleyball.
Indiana, yeah.
Yes,
I
yes.
was actually, funny story.
Yeah,
I think I
you
told
told me.
Seamus I was doing a clinic in Nebraska a couple weeks ago, and I went to a brewery and I told them like, "Dang, I wish there was a football game here tonight." And they're like, "Wait, but there's a volleyball game, like women's volleyball against Minnesota. It's like the biggest event of the year." I was like, "What?" And yeah, no, I remember just in Indiana as well when I lived in Indiana. It's pretty big there as well.
No, we had Georgia Tech has a really good volleyball team. That I talked to the coaching staff too. They're all Brazilian, so that's like easier. But it's good to learn. And there was one game they had here. I don't know if it was Minnesota, Nebraska, Wisconsin. One of those three teams. They had like a cop. You know how football teams, when the head coaches go shake hands and they have cops behind them. They had a cop coming into. I was like, dude, it's just a vault. But that's that's the atmosphere they have there. Like that's what Joan's talking about. It's like it's a big deal. Like imagine
Yeah.
swim coaches going shake hands and there's cops behind us, because you never know, fans go crazy.
Absolutely.
So dual meet tournament. Are you changing anything for next year? Is it coming back next year?
It is coming back next year. I just had someone asking, like, what's the roster number? Like right before, like, what's the roster number? Like, yes, it's happening again. We wanna make it better. We wanna make it louder, more lights.
Yeah, where
Now
did
we
you
have
see
now, yeah.
where did you see the room for, like, what were good takeaways and what were things where you're like, oh, this could be a lot better, like when when you
Good
finished it?
takeaways were people were racing. Like
Mm,
they're racing for the team. Guys and girls racing together. So girls were looking at guys' results. Guys were cheating on girls. Sometimes we know that's hard. Uh, it was a team environment. We were like going for it. One thing that I really like, both pools at the same time. Energy is high. For the fans at the pool, you have something happening, something going on all the time. You stay entertained. It's fun. It's good. It's loud. An hour and 20. That's how long it was. So for coaches, we're like, oh, we're done already? Like,
Perfect.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things that I think can be better. It was a quick turnaround Friday night to Saturday morning, especially if you race on the second wave on Friday and first wave because you lost on Saturday. Like Georgia Tech was that on that. It was harder. But that's what you got for losing. But we can adjust that. The final was only one pool. So like the other side, it looked like it was naked. Like, hey, how can we adjust that? Like maybe put the final with the 5th and 6th place, and then put 3rd place with 7th, 8th together. So stuff like that, I think it will be fun to do it. Little things like where are the teams gonna put their mesh bags? Like because you race in the first wave, are you gonna leave your mesh bags on the bleachers there? But there's a different team coming, so where should we have a hanger for mesh bag spots? Stop little things like that that I'm like paying attention on and trying to adjust.
Well, real quick, what are your thoughts on the new format of the NCAA championship with getting rid of B finals?
Oh man, I like it. I think it's sad because you lose a lot of good swimming, but it's what it takes to be a sport that people will watch. It's more entertaining because every swim is to win. Every swim is to win. Like if you're swimming the B final, you're not swimming to win. Again, I'm sad because there's a lot of best times, second swims, opportunities that we're gonna miss. But it's the sacrifice that it takes for our sport to be at the next level, and I'm okay with that.
It's
Okay,
crazy.
so
It's crazy to think that because I think Iago, when did you graduate? 2020?
2020, I was COVID. Yeah, I was COVID class.
Like, so when you started college, it was probably like this. I graduated 2018. We still had to swim prelims for the relays at NC2As.
Yeah.
So the lineup of events, when people are like, "Oh, Caleb, like going 39 and 100 free the last day," I'm like, dude, he had to do prelims, relays. You have no idea what that guy would have done if he was fresh.
Yeah. And
he was
that's the lineup, right? That's like the mile is going to be a lot faster because on the first day, like I think
Yeah.
Matt said that, like I think it's going to be some crazy stuff on that first day on the mile because people will be fresh, ready to go. Some people won't be ready at all because it's the first event.
Yeah.
So that's the fun
That's
we
good.
had now at Invite. That was the format, and it was fun to see it.
at Georgia.
Yeah, at Georgia, they did the format. So
Well, yeah, what was that like at Georgia? What format did they do?
they did the new NCAA format, which
Okay.
was mile, 200, medley, A free, and then the order of events. I think it was 2 fly, 2 back, 100 free, 4 free relay on the last day, something like that.
Yeah, I can see here. Yeah, they did mile, 2 medley, 8 free relay, 100 fly, 4 a.m., then 2 free, 1 brass
2 free.
diving.
Yep.
And kind of kept going through. Okay, but so you said they did that format of just kind of one A final as well, or no? Did they do B finals?
No. They still did B and C. It's different. Like mid-season, it's about getting swims. Like it's
Opportunities,
about practicing.
right.
Which I think it could be adjusted, but the goal of mid-season is getting swims, getting experience, like having the freshmen get to swim against Josh Leando, Luca, like that's the goal of mid-season, like getting experience, being tired and racing, learning how to race tired, like John said, like a lot of events. That's the goal, because then we squeeze towards being more focused and having better swims.
Yeah. What's your goal as a coach at Georgia Tech? Meaning, what are you trying to, what are you trying to leave Georgia Tech with? What kind of culture are you trying to help cultivate, with with the program now? Like, you know, what, why do you do this? Like, what are you trying to impart on the athletes that you coach?
Good. Well, I do what I do because I like to see people celebrate. So
Mm,
I knew I wanted to be a coach because this guy from Mac broke the minute on the 100 fly for the first time of his life, and he jumped out of the water like he had won an Olympic medal. And that gave me goosebumps, and I had to step away because I was about to cry. And it was such a small meet, and
mm,
didn't matter that much. I was like, man, I like this. I'm going to be a coach. But
wow.
the culture and why I do it here at Tech, it's because you talked about it, how we have a great pool. And in my eyes, we need a team that should be at the same level as the facility we have. So I want to leave behind a team that people want to come to Tech because of the swim team, not just academics. I want to have a culture that people get here and they swim better for each other, not
Mm,
because they just a fast swimmer. No, they are fast swimmer, but they swim even better because there's people behind them, coaches behind them, family, friends, administration, the pool guy that's trying to make the pool warmer is behind them and respect them. And that's why you're faster. Because on the last day of ACCs and Cs that you're tired, you kind of put on the back of your mind that you're tired and you go, I'm going to do that for my friends and the people around me every day. So that's the culture I want to leave. I think I have a lot of time. I really, really like being here. I really, really like doing what I do. Is that easy? No, but I enjoy it. So that's why I want to do it.
yeah. Um, do you think it's possible at Georgia Tech, like some of the things that you mentioned? Because obviously you have the facilities, you have a good
Yeah,
opportunity. But
I think
is it
it's
possible?
possible and easy.
Mm,
Like what Albieto did at Louisville, that was hard. Like that guy's worked really hard, took a lot of time.
yeah.
And if he did there, like Georgia Tech has a crazier pool. School is amazing. Like why in my head, like it's easy. It's just
Why
gonna
not?
take work. It's just gonna
Yeah.
take a lot of work, but yes.
Mm. How do you kind of balance your life as far as giving so much? Obviously, we know as coaches how much it requires to be great, to make something of the opportunity to coach athletes and really pour yourself into it. I mean, it's time consuming. So how do you manage that within your
Yeah,
life and as a young
it's
coach?
hard, man. It's hard. I would say right now is the time that the balance aspect is not the most important. I try to always like have a day that I like 24 hours like after Saturday practice until like Sunday midday that I don't think about it. I turn it off. I go be with my fiance. I go hang out with my friends.
You go
Uh,
bike at 5 a.m.
Go bike at 5 a.m. Yes, love doing that. That's my therapy. It's a little cold now, but so staying active, physical activity, uh, it's a huge thing. Uh,
Mm,
I love Atlanta because I have the people that I love around me, and they help me do. And when I see them, they're like, "Damn, dude, you guys are doing good." Like, so when my friends like keep me going, like my fiance keep me going, like it's easy. There isn't a lot of balance, like, and I'm 27, man. Like, I don't want balance. I don't want the 9 to 5. I don't want that. I'm trying to change a program, change my life, change my family's life. Like, it's not the
mm,
time for balance right now. And I had this conversation with my fiance. I was like, hey, we're both on this. Like, she's young too. She's working really hard. I'm working really hard. Let's make it worth it now so we can kind of chill in the future. Uh, that's the idea now. The balance happens when we turn our heads off for like 24 hours, a weekend sometimes. Like Thanksgiving was great, like got a break there. But even on the break, I went to watch a swim practice in Ohio. So uh, that's the balance. You really love. You gotta have people that you love around you, and just have fun. Like have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's the balance.
That's the bad, right. Well, it makes sense. I mean, like you said, there doesn't necessarily need to be that balance. It doesn't have. It's not necessary for you right now because you're, you're willing to use this, like, kind of the youthful years, if you will, to pour yourself into something. And I think now is the time. And when you're excited about something, why not? Why not go full throttle and try to do something, even if that requires a lot of time. And like you said, it's not the typical 9 to 5 kind of culture, but coaching really isn't anyways.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's admirable. And I wanted to ask you a couple more questions. What does swimming smart, training smart mean to you?
Swimming smart, training smart. Swimming smart means at practice you're like thinking about what you're doing. Like a good example is just trying to hit the times because coaches said 450 is at pace. You're trying to get the same kick count, same breathing that you're gonna do on the 100 pace that you're doing, or whatever, 200. For me, that's swimming is smart. Being able to turn your brain on and sometimes turn your brain off. Swimming is smart. That's what it means. Training smart is knowing that recovery is important, kind of like planning the whole thing, understanding, especially here at Georgia Tech, that academics has a huge like they got tired about studying so hard, sometimes not sleeping that well, and making sure that the training is smart because you're not making them even more tired. You just like, okay, we're not losing anything in the water, but you're like taking care of your academics. So being smart with the program, being able to adapt. So in my head, at the program I'm at now, that's what it means. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. How do you message that though to your team? Like even some of those parts about, thinking about your kick count or your stroke count, or not just thinking about getting in the water and hitting pace or descending or build, like, how do you kind of try to message that to your athletes that, might just want to shut their brain off because they're so overwhelmed from classes or, you know?
Coaching, tricking them with writing on the workout like stroke count, and this is the count of stroke, this is the time, and having a part of the workout that I just focus on the kick count. So like they focus on one thing at a time. It's like they're doing a puzzle. So they do only stroke count, they do only kick count, they do both together, and then they only go for the time. So writing the workout in a way that it's gonna like put the puzzle together, and coaching them like, hey, you thought I'm not gonna see that? I see you breathing there. Only 2 breaths. I saw it, like being there, because I remember when I was swimming, I used to like, oh, I gotta do this right because my coach is watching, because my coach is coaching. So I'm there, I'm coaching them. I tell them, hey, let me know if this week is hard week, you have exams, like talk to me. I always try to talk to them before we get in the water. So if I feel like someone is having a hard week, this week's gonna be like difficult, there's a hard day, I might just like, hey, I don't say anything, or I say something in a different way. Sometimes I'm really hard on them, and it gets a little tension, but it's part of it. Like I want them to do things that sometimes they don't want to do, but it's good for them. So you gotta coach.
Yeah, that's That's the art of coaching. Yeah. Iago, what? Actually, no. I'll reframe it. Are you a fan of a get out swim? And if so, do you have a favorite get out swim story, either from your time as an athlete or as a coach?
Am I a fan? I don't know if I'm a fan. I don't. Is it okay if I don't have an opinion?
Yeah, yeah. If you're,
That's
yeah,
a two flyer. That's a two flyer mentality, man. He wants to work hard.
I was that guy that worked really hard. My favorite memory of Great Out Swim. Okay, I have a good one. So last year at winter training, the team was, oh man, they were tired. Like they were in Atlanta. It was cold. I just had flew back from World Champ, so I wasn't with the group. My group was very stressed. It was a Friday afternoon double, long course, and I was like, all right, I'll do a two fly versus one of the guys on the team, and if he wins, you guys are out. If I win, you guys got to finish. And I that's me not training, and we did it, and I was like very relaxed. And then the 100, man, I was like one stroke ahead of him or something like that, and I saw everybody's faces like oh, Iago's gonna win. Like we're gonna have like they were just sad, and I kind of like let the pain take care of it. And I tell this story to them. They don't believe it. They're like, yeah, you didn't do this. But it was like a fun story to me because I could see the team's face. Like they needed that. They needed that. And I was like, okay, I'll give it to you guys. But on the other side, they're like laughing because they're like, yeah, you just died, man. You know, like you didn't do it. You just died. And on the third point, Ari was on the pool deck, and Ari got so mad at me because he was like, why are you doing this? This is just slow swimming. Like you shouldn't do that. And I was like, Ari, come on, the team needed that.
you needed it.
And I think that was just like a fun one.
Yeah, I love it.
It hurt though.
Oh, I'm sure. You still get in and kind of race them every once in a while, or swim yourself, or not as much?
I swim myself. I don't race them. I don't want them to feel bad. Just kidding. No, man, those guys are way better than me. And I get into like try. So Juan and Ben left a Hydro Wing, and they sent me some Hydro Wing. So like I'll get in. I was like, oh, I never tried this. Let me try it. We have a monofin set, and I was like, let me see if this interval is doable. Like, and I got in. I do the intervals. All right, if I did it, those guys can do it. More that type of thing. Drills. If I see a new drill, I might want to get in and try. And it's good just to remember yourself. Like if I get in and do a 400, like I'll be out of breath. And I was like, okay, like how my warm up for the sprinter should be. You know what I'm saying? Like 400 might take some energy from them. So
you can try it yourself.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to coach too.
Yep.
I mean, if you can't, if you are capable, it's like get in the water, try it yourself, and then you'll know exactly if your swimmers are able to do it or not. And I think that's pretty valuable and good. Well, Zhao, I'm not sure if you have anything else, but Iago, it's been awesome. Really appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit about yourself and what you guys got going on at Georgia Tech, and yeah, man, just happy to have you on here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This was fun, man. I like talking about it. When you talk it out loud, you kind of realize what you're doing. Like, oh, that's actually what I'm trying to do, and that's actually what I'm doing. That's how much I enjoy it. So it's good.
That's all.
Let us know when you decide what's going to be the new additions to the dual meet tournament, and hop back on here. We need to do one with you and the creators, Chico,
for sure, man.
Holly.
Those
whatever
guys,
you guys decide the new rules, just let us know, and we'll get a podcast on that.
Those guys are the real real dudes. Like they been around way longer than me. I'm just the energy guy that's like, yeah, let's do it. Like that's me. Let's make it work. But those guys are the ones that being around, have the feeling of everything, and I just listen to them. And sometimes talk too much, but I try to listen to them and make things happen. I think it would be great. I think we need more exposure. I think what they did at Tennessee was fun. I like it what people are trying to do with swimming. Like let's change only a final tournament challenge stuff like that bracket, and it's going towards all right. Let's pick one and let's stick to that one and let's make that one happen. If that one is the one that we created here, good. If it's something else, good. I have no ego about that. I just think the sport needs something that we all walk together and makes it better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Awesome.
Iago, thanks again. Zhao, thank you for hopping on, and yeah, we'll get back together at some point, and hopefully the listeners can take away something from this. Iago, keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, go Georgia Tech.
Go Jackets, man. Go Jackets. Thank you. I appreciate it.